You want to hear? We have Jay's clips yesterday from the presser when they asked him, Jay. And again, it's what I've said all along. Coaches don't want to just reward guys that don't practice.
I don't think it's readiness issues. I think he's ready to go. I think it's something more that he has to perform and he has to play well to earn more playing time. You know, he hasn't practiced a whole lot last year. He didn't practice a whole lot this year. He's been in and out of the lineup a little bit. So I think once he establishes himself as a everyday player, he's going to get the reps and he's going to prove that he is one of our top receivers, and he'll get more and more reps as the season goes on, without a doubt. You know, but he's got to earn that right like everybody does.
I see where he's coming from, but if he's a better player than Ryan Grant and you're just trying to teach him a lesson by keeping him on the sideline, that's poor coaching in my opinion. You're not giving your team the best chance to win if you're not putting the best player out on the field.
I hear you, but sometimes coaches do have to have principles. You just do. I mean, what if the guy?
He
what
can
if
have
your
his
best
principles,
player?
but he can have his principles. But when he goes 5-11, people aren't going to care about his principles.
I understand.
What if he feels like he's not the best player? What if he feels like he's the fourth best receiver right now?
Okay, well then,
I don't think he thinks that.
You have to train the guns on the front office for picking him in the first round.
What if
he's not the best
what
player?
If, what if he didn't? But what if a random player on the team got in trouble, was out late, but he's a great player, blew past the curfew and all that? Would you play him just because he's a great player and it's going to hurt the team to not play him? Or would you have integrity?
I'd play him because he's a great player, because that's what my job depends on.
I'd sit him for one series.
Right. I mean,
I think that's kind of what Jay did here. I think Jay kind of put him in the plan for 20 plays. It's not his fault Kirk didn't throw his way. And I think next week he'll play maybe double that. And I think Kirk will probably make a point to try to get him the ball once or twice, and we'll see what happens. If he catches one, it's going to start to snowball.
Right.
They're going to build up.
I hope he's featured more because, look, you don't generally pick a wide receiver or any player in the first round and then when they're healthy and ready to go, not play them. It's kind of weird.
All right, let's go to the phones. 800-636-1067. What do you want to see from the Redskins offensively, attack-wise, against the Rams?
Let's go to Mo in Largo. Hey, Mo.
Hey, good morning, fellas. First of all, I would definitely like to see more emphasis on the run, but with that being said, we need a better performance out of the right side of our line, particularly Morgan Moses, because if you look at the film, he's just getting beat inside, getting beat outside. The only time he's competent is when he receives help from Sheriff. I'm telling you, he is the linchpin on this line, and if we can't get that right side solidified, we're going to have a tough time. Also, I need to see better routes from Pryor. If you look at some of the routes, he's breaking them early. You know what I'm saying? There was one situation where he should have hit it or routed his route more so towards the back of the end zone rather than the front pylon. It's just little things that you learn when you become a more seasoned veteran at wide receiver. But with that being said, he's got to help out his quarterback, and some of those routes would definitely cut off early. But, I mean, I think there are some things that they can do well, but if that line doesn't, come together, we've got no shot.
Thanks, buddy. I agree
with
you.
Moses will play better. I saw a statistic. He gave up 3 sacks, I believe. He only gave up 5 all of last year. So
there is talk that he's nicked up.
Yeah.
And he's not 100%.
I'm going to play better.
I think the whole offense is going to play better. Not every week, but I think this week they'll bounce back a little bit. I really, really do. Maybe it's stupid. And I don't know much about the Rams' defensive personnel. I know they got the big donk back, Aaron Donald.
Donald's there. Brockers is there. He's
Quinn.
a first-rounder.
So
Quinn will get after the quarterback.
I'm sure they're very, very good. But
I think we'll play better. I think they're going to. They may be better, but I think the Rams will disrupt that offensive line. They're going to look disjointed just like they did in week 1. I think the Rams win.
I'll say this. I think they got pretty good weapons, too, offensively.
The Rams?
Sammy Watkins, Gurley.
Kupp.
This Cooper Kupp kid?
Kupp set all sorts of records at Eastern Washington.
Yes. He is your prototypical possession guy who will never drop balls.
Mm-hmm.
Gurley, you can use him, out of the backfield. I think he had 5 or 6 catches this past week. They've got Watkins. They've got Robert Woods. They've got Tavon Austin.
Goff, the trigger man.
Goff's a second-year guy, but he played well last week. Now, I know it was against the Colts, but they've got some weapons over there. They do.
You could be right. I think that Jay figured something out, and Grant said something yesterday that I believe 100%, that Jay is kind of known for being good at making adjustments, in-game adjustments, and I thought they did in the second and third quarter, made a lot of adjustments, quick throws. I thought even the read option stuff, because they weren't running the football well. I think they some things that they can do well in that week 1, And I think you're going to see a lot more of that quick stuff that Kirk excels at in week 2, and I think they're going to move the football better. I'll be shocked if they don't.
It's just a big game, let's be honest. It's a big one.
It's a big one.
Big game, definitely.
It's the biggest game of the year.
I know
for the
you
Skins.
don't believe they're going to, and I don't either. You don't believe they're going to make the playoffs, but it's still a big game because if you go 0-2,
Still the goal to make
we are,
playoffs.
of course, we all know what the percentages are at 0-2.
It's like 10%.
Well, it's already 10% to win the division. They're 89% to not win the division. You can't dispute the stat. If you lose your first divisional game, you're 11% to win it. So they're not going to win the division. That's already written off.
Let's be honest. They were 100% not to win the division before the season started.
Especially with Zeke.
All right, so now you're
Yeah.
battling.
Suspension
Now
was
you're
up with-
battling for a couple wild cards.
Right.